So, welcome to this episode of The Rumble. My guest is somewhat unusual in the sense that she's extremely young, and then she's in a profession where people generally don't even touch it until you got a little bit of grey hair. But here we're an absolute youngster. So, welcome to the show, Naqiyah.
Thank you.
So, give me your full name so that I don't get it wrong.
Naqiyah Hasan.
All right.
Yeah.
So, you born and brought up in Chennai?
Yeah, born and brought up in Chennai.
Never went any other place?
Never lived anywhere else. I've always been in Chennai.
And you're still in school, from what I understand.
Yeah, I'm going to 12th now.
And is this somewhat normal that people are publishing books at your age, or are you truly one of a kind?
I am very passionate about writing, so in my school I'm the first student to write.
But in Madras, are there other students that you know around your age who actually published a book?
I know one in Balavidya Mandir actually, but other than her, I don't know anyone.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this passion for writing was something that you developed on your own. I mean, nobody develops a passion; it just happened to you, or did someone push you into it? Encourage you?
People have pushed me into reading, but nobody has pushed me into writing ever.
So when did that urge hit you?
I started writing at about the age of 11 or 12. Yeah.
Okay.
And that's when I started reading also actually. I've not been a reader for many years or anything like that. I started reading only in fifth, ending of 5th and beginning of 6th.
What, year or class?
No, class.
Okay. So what was your interest really? In fiction? In drama? History? What is the...
In fiction mainly, yeah. In fantasy and fiction.
Contemporary?
Yeah, contemporary novels. Yeah. And I read also mostly contemporary novels.
So, okay, at the risk of sounding stupid and ignorant, can I ask you a name of a few people that you really like their writings?
John Green, J.K. Rowling.
Okay.
J.K. Rowling is like obvious, it's mandatory, like,
okay.
Yeah. But I enjoy reading John Green's
What
books.
is the power of J.K. Rowling? I mean, people of all ages read it. I have yet to even pick one off the shelf. I just...
Don't worry, I have friends like that.
I'm sure there will be thousands like me. But what is her... It's something to do with sorcery and magicians and... what is it? Is it fantasy?
It's fantasy.
Okay.
But the way she
attraction of
writes,
that?
it's actually the way her writing style and, her words, and they're very different. Her writing style is very different actually.
But everybody understands her, obviously.
Yeah, everybody understands. And the main thing I like about her is that, she gives a history about everything she writes. It's not just something that's unbelievable. When you read her books, even though it's about magic and all that, you almost believe it. Like, can this exist? Can Hogwarts actually exist? It's like that. You start questioning yourself.
So when you read it, did you fell for it in the sense?
No. Actually, I didn't like Harry Potter. I had to read it 3-4 times to like the first book.
There's a Punjabi movie called Hari Puttar, which the writers of Harry Potter took to court, saying that you're
it's a spoof or something.
Yeah, it must have been a spoof, but these guys took it seriously and said, you're borrowing from our famous book, and I think they went to court and finally they ruled in favor of Hari Puttar.
I didn't know about this.
Hari Puttar was allowed to. I mean, it's such a Punjabi usage, Hari Puttar,
Yeah,
they say.
I know, many people say that.
I mean, for them to say that this is based out of Harry Potter was silly. But I'm not even sure if that is true.
It's offensive actually.
What, to be taken to court?
No, not that. That, when you say Harry Potter, they're like, oh, Harry Potter, something like that. They make jokes like that.
Oh.
I take it very offensively.
You take it seriously?
Yeah.
Why should it be? It's just a children's book. At the end of the day, anybody can believe it, not believe it. Anyway, and tell me some other writers that have triggered your enthusiasm.
I read love stories also, so I like Nicholas Sparks, Nora Roberts, Cecilia Ahern, all those of them, yeah.
This is the Mills and Boon genre books. When you say romance and love stories.
Rom-com actually. Romance and comedy, yeah.
Okay.
Both.
So these kind of books have been available for years. I mean, I think your mother must have grown up to it, and her mother must have grown up to it. So do you have a library of those books at home?
Actually, I don't have many old books. So all my books are pretty new.
Yeah.
My brother also used to read, so I have some of his Goosebumps, but nothing older than that. I have one James Hadley Chase book of my dad's. He had kept that book.
Yeah, people my generation would know James Hadley Chase. He wrote under another name also, A.A. Fair.
No, I'm not.
Same writer, but he had a pseudonym.
Oh, okay, yeah, the writers write like that.
Yeah, he used to write under two names. But these romantic rom-coms, as you call them, they are absolutely perfect for converting into Indian cinema. Have you ever noticed? Did you see, every one of our movies revolves around love. I mean, there is no movie in recent times. Maybe there are one or two.
Even in books, like no matter how serious the content is, in the end there will be some romance and there will be some, even the friendship element of love, anything like that. But there will be
somewhere
love.
that romance has to come in for it to really grab the reader's attention. How difficult is that to write about love and stuff, right, when you're just 16 years old, or you girls know a lot about it?
Actually, there's nothing much about love in my book.
I like that.
There's like a crush or something like that. Yeah.
Okay. But that's about it.
Serious, yeah.
So in your book, I read the little blurb which you sent me. So there are 5 characters or 4 characters.
4 characters.
And they're just friends.
Yeah, they're just friends.
And then it does it follow their career, their life, or what is it actually?
The whole book is based on one day. So there's, and it's like past, present, past, present. So it's nothing about the future or anything as such. So it's all in one day. So there's nothing about.
So of course, if it's all in one day, then you definitely have to go back into the past and keep coming to today till today.
So it's past and present.
So how did the idea come to you about this particular thing? Is something that had been growing in your head?
No, actually, I thought of the main character first. Okay, she came into my head, and after that, I based the story around her. So like as soon as I got the idea, I didn't know what the entire story was going to be. And one more thing that happens is, sometimes you might have an idea and you might know exactly how you want the book to be.
Okay.
But as you start writing, the story will change. The story will take another course.
I'm sure nothing is fixed in your head.
Yeah, even if it is fixed, even if you know the suspense, in the end something will change. You can't.
And you think it's a better process that way?
Yeah, it's a better change. It's always a better change.
So when you write obviously on your computer.
Yeah, I type it up.
I always wondered how anybody could write longhand. And all the books in the old days were written longhand.
Yeah, I know. Now it's much more convenient.
Yeah.
Especially because, you think one sentence in your head and you just need to write it down quickly.
Yes.
So it's easier to type it.
Did you ever use text to speech?
No. I started writing my first book, but then I shifted to typing immediately. I've never written a whole book.
So maybe you should have discovered that text to speech program, and it made your life a lot simpler. So we'll find out from her, how did she actually take that first leap, as they say, take the pen, put the first word down. That's going to be interesting. We'll find out. So as I said before we went for the break, what was it? What was the actual sequence of events from the time that you actually first entered in the computer, or writing?
Actually, I didn't start off with, a full-fledged story. I used to write short stories and short articles, and my articles have also been published in Young World, Hindu, and small things like that. Nobody can just start writing and finish one whole book in one go. It's not. It is difficult. It takes time. And I've actually started so many books and left them in between. And that
why does that happen? Is it it doesn't interest you anymore, or something better came up?
Yeah, something better comes up, or you just you feel like it's not good enough. And if it's not good, if you're not satisfied with your own writing, then there's no point. Yeah, how can other people read it if you yourself can't read it and be satisfied by it? I've always thought of that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you had a germ of an idea, if I were to understand, and then you elaborate on that.
Yeah.
Is that how a book comes out?
It comes.
Or do you go back and forth?
No. It comes around the main character. If you have the main character in your head, then you can frame a story around it. You can't have pieces that it doesn't work.
Is it chronologically, following one after the other when you write also, or you might end up doing the end first? And then you might put middle chapters, and then you might go back to the beginning.
Surprisingly, I knew the suspense first. I knew the suspense.
Which means the end was what you... Okay.
So, it was like I was working towards the end. So, it was like that. I knew the suspense before I knew the beginning of the story.
And did you
the main character and the suspense.
And did you run it past anyone? Or is this entirely your effort?
It was... No. It was entirely mine. And after I wrote every chapter, my mom used to read it. and
Okay.
tell me what she thought about the chapter or something.
Or you went chapter by chapter?
Yeah, chapter
So
by
not
chapter.
finish the whole thing and then
No.
surprise the family.
No. I surprised my dad, but my mom knew what
you were
was
up to
going
this.
on. Yeah.
So when you're in your room with your door closed, everybody banging on saying, "What are you doing in there?" You are writing a book.
Actually, that happened. My brother, he used to
Irritate you?
No. He let me write in peace.
Okay.
But yeah.
But were there input from anyone else?
No, not really. My friends know I write, but
No,
they
with
didn't.
the book itself, did anybody have any suggestions, any better formulas to follow?
No,
better
actually,
lead?
I don't always like sharing my writing. I'm very personal about it.
Okay.
So nobody read it other than my mom. In the initial stage, nobody read it other than my mom.
And are you very fixed in your mind that yes, this is the story, this is the way it goes, or are you open to suggestion? I mean, I'm just saying that just in case there are writers listening to it, I mean, you want to know how did she even actually string the story together? So that's what people like to know. Was it something that you did on your own, or would you have appreciated some help?
See, it depends. See, for like some authors, they might be comfortable. There are many authors who find a partner and then write the book. Like 2 authors writing 1 book.
Okay. Oh, that happens?
Yeah, that happens.
Okay.
In fact, this my favorite book, Will Grayson by John Green, is
Okay.
written by 2 authors.
All right.
So you know how they wrote the book? It's actually really fascinating. So John Green is one author, and the other author's name is David Levithan.
Okay.
So John Green wrote 1 chapter, and he sent it across email to the other author.
Oh, so they were just taking the story forward.
The whole story was through emails.
It's like a rugby match. You throw the ball,
Yeah.
he carries the ball, and then tosses it back to you.
Yeah, and so the other author used to read this author's first chapter and then, continue the story and send it back.
Okay.
And then he read so that's actually pretty fascinating. But for that, you have to be comfortable with what the other author
And you must
has
know
to
that
say.
person very well, I guess,
Yeah.
how their thought process works.
Yeah.
And then once you finished it, how many words are there in the book? If I were to
There-
count,
Around 16,000, I guess, yeah.
16,000.
Or so.
Okay. And was there a limit in your brain when you started writing, or
No,
your
no,
publishing
no.
company gave you a limit or something?
Nothing like that. You actually approach the publishing company after you finish the book, right?
Completely.
So, yeah.
They don't
Completely.
interfere and say, okay, change this, change that.
No,
I'll
no,
give you
no.
some few suggestions.
In the end, it's all up to me. They might suggest something, but they need my approval to change it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it's your venture in any case, because you actually got
Yeah,
yourself.
they leave the entire approvals and all. They're all up to me.
Now, in the old days, a publishing firm, having put all the money in,
Yeah.
they used to have their say in including what the character wore. They might even ask you to put some
There's nothing like that.
advertising, slight little thingies inside it. So, but when it's entirely yours and you're paid for it, and
Yeah.
then it's your business what you write and what you don't write.
Yeah,
But do they help you? Is editorial help available from a company?
Yeah, they edit it and they send it to me. So even that actually they need my approval.
Okay.
I have to approve if this sentence should be edited in this way or not.
Hmm.
And actually I learned a lot through it.
Now, that's what I was going to ask you. How good are these publishing firms? They have competent people who can help you.
Yeah, the editing and all that was done very smoothly. It was really good. And I learned a lot through the process, about how
What is
else
one
it
thing
can be
that
written
sticks in
and
your
all that.
mind of that experience of actually writing the book and getting it passed and cleared?
That it cannot be perfect in one go. There are so many pages which I have deleted the whole page and I've rewritten it because I wasn't satisfied with it.
Okay.
So I've learned that you cannot make it perfect in one go.
So I
It's
suppose
not
even
possible.
now when you pick up your book, you might say, I wish I'd done this that way and that
No.
way.
Luckily, that's not happened.
No?
So that's good.
No, because if you say that, there's always that little doubt in your mind that, should I...
There were many editing rounds, so I always had the chance to change something if I wanted to later in the
Okay, so
later
tell me the
stage.
process. You finish the book, let's say you've written the end and
Yeah.
you've got it all with you. Then what did you do?
Then I started emailing publishers, started finding people.
And
to
how do you
publish.
find the publishing firms?
I googled the publishing firms in India first, and then I found out their email
Did you
IDs,
look for anybody in
contact numbers and
Chennai
all
or
that.
did you just look India?
India. I looked India. Yeah, I looked for Indian publishers, and then I found HarperCollins, Rupa, all of them, and even Notion Plus.
Okay.
And then I emailed all of them, and the first reply was from Rupa.
Okay.
But Rupa wasn't interested in a new author.
All right.
So it was a no.
But I
for
don't
me.
understand why they should have objected, since it's almost entirely your project. You're going to fund it. You're going to do everything.
But I think
Maybe they have their criteria.
yeah, and plus my book, the characters are all foreign.
Okay.
So maybe they didn't, they
They're
wanted
looking
some
for
Indian characters, yeah.
All right. Okay. So
Maybe that was-
Rupert didn't pick up the script. Who else did you approach?
HarperCollins.
Okay.
HarperCollins also, I think it was the same issue. They said that we're not interested in the kind of writing that you've done.
Okay. Well, and they were blunt about it, or they were diplomatic and nice.
No, they were like, "I'm sorry to inform you," something like that,
Okay, like saying your dear cat passed away, but they did it nicely.
Yeah.
And who finally took it?
Yeah, Notion Press finally said yes, and then we spoke to them. We spoke to them through the phone, and then they asked me what is the book about, and they told me to send a few chapters. So
Okay.
all that happened, and then they said they were interested in it.
All right.
Yeah. So
And then how did you take it forward? Because until now you've been all over the phone, or did you meet them personally?
No, we haven't met them personally. It was through emails and through phone calls.
And then they finally asked you one fine morning, okay, we are done, we'll sign. Did you sign a contract, or what is it? What did
Yeah, it was a proper contract as such. It
How many
was
pages was the contract? Just for interest.
About 10 to 12 pages.
And you read all the fine print?
I read it.
Yeah?
Yeah,
Nothing
I
that
read
you
it.
wanted them to change?
No. I read it. My parents also read it, and after all that, yeah, we went with it.
Okay. So the whole process, how long did it take?
About 3 to 4 months, yeah.
From the time your manuscript was done?
From the beginning till the end, yeah.
No, beginning you were writing and you didn't
No,
start
no,
looking.
not yeah. From when they said okay, let's go with it, and all that. So from the editing and all that, everything, the whole process took 3 months.
Okay.
The editing wasn't just one round, like I said. It was so many rounds, and I had time. If I wanted to change something, I could change it and I could send it back to them. So all that also, depending on all that, it depends from person to person how long it will take. For me, maybe it took this long because I felt like I wanted to change something, so I could do that.
And they were accommodating.
Yeah, they could do it. Yeah.
All right. So that's the way it was. It was a fairly smooth process for her. So give us a little insight into the process of writing. So forget about getting the contracts and all. That's done. How did the book? If somebody wants to write a book, got a book in a head, how will they go about it?
See, it took me so many years to realize this. So first, when you start writing and when you finish a chapter, make sure to write all the important things that are there in that particular chapter. Like, just jot down, like, keywords like that.
Okay.
So even if you stop writing, even if you want to take a break from writing and you come back and see after a month, you don't need to read everything you've written so far. You can just read those points and understand, okay, I was writing this particular thing.
Okay.
And one more thing, if there are many characters in the book, then I suggest you write the character's name and you write down everything about that character that you need to remember. Like the hair color or the eye color or something about them. Like, how things like they tear paper when they're nervous. Things like that.
Okay.
That bring out the character personality or something like that. So, it's important to write all those things down. Because sometimes when you're writing, you might get confused between two characters. Did this character have blue eyes or did that character have blue eyes? You might
And you
forget.
can't keep going back and searching all the
Yeah,
time.
exactly. You can't keep doing that.
So you have a personality sketch on one
Yeah,
side.
exactly. You can even do diagrams and all that.
Okay.
For remembering some places or something that you have, everything that you have in your
Is
head
there anything
should
that
be
you
in a
can read?
notepad.
Any kind of books that's available professionally, help kind of thing in
I've
writing
never
a book?
done anything like that.
But
maybe
is it
I've-
available? Is it available
Yeah,
online?
it's available.
How to
It's
write
available.
a novel in 20 days or something
No,
like that?
there are they'll give creative topics online on which you can write. As like for practicing.
Mm-hmm.
I've done all that.
I
There are
see.
many good topics online.
And can you bounce ideas off somebody out somewhere who's a professional? Like you write a chapter and you send it to somebody and say, what do you think of this?
Out of a professional, no, I don't. I've
It's like,
I've
I mean,
not
like
done
I'm
that.
making a movie. There are script writers, there are professional script writers, and you can send it
See,
to them.
in the end, even if I showed 10 people, okay, they'll all have a different opinion. Some people might say, I like this character. Some people might say, I don't like this character.
Okay.
In the end, the writer will end up getting confused. What should I do? Should I keep this character?
So best
should I
is
not?
don't go into it.
Yeah, best is to just keep your opinion and move forward. And go with what you like. Because that's more important, I feel.
So which part of the book writing did you find really hard? Characterization, or was it the background, or the continuity, or the
The
time?
continuity. especially in between. See, the beginning of a book will mostly be interesting because it's the introduction and it's about getting yourself into the book.
Okay, just like starting off.
Yeah, and the ending will also be interesting because there's a suspense in the end.
Okay.
So it's in between that's difficult to write. And if you've noticed, if you're an avid reader, you'll also notice that in between sometimes the book tends to get a little boring.
That's when you pick up the second book.
Yeah, sometimes. Okay. So it's like that. So writing the middle part of the book is the difficult part.
And all these things were mapped out by you in your brain, or are they all developed?
They developed. You don't. Some people might map them out, but for me it was as I was writing.
That's good. So then the topic that you chose.
Yeah.
Did that come to you, or inspiring what you see other people? Something that triggered your interest in these 4 characters, or these were with you for a long time?
No, actually no. Like I said, the main character I knew who I want to be, but
so out of the 4, there is one who's main.
Yeah, the main. Because she's there in the beginning and in the ending. So she's the main character for me. So it was like you don't know everything that's going to happen in the book in the beginning.
And did you ever have a situation where you wrote and then you finally said, let me get rid of this character totally?
Not like that, but I was about to give up in the end because my last character, her name is Mora. I found it like a little difficult to write that character. I don't know why, but I thought that, leave this, I don't want to finish this. And then I left it for about a month or less than a month, and then I came back and I finished the book.
It's like, I got to finish this, or something triggered you?
No, I wanted to start writing. I had a different idea for her character, so I wanted to start writing again. Okay. I thought, I can finish this.
And I see the book. This is what the book looks like. Feather People, which is a very strange thing. Tell me what was the story behind Feather People?
I cannot tell you the story behind it.
Okay, don't tell me the story. What is Feather People?
No, exactly. I can't tell you that because it's like a part of the book. When you read the book, you know, it's like that moment. Like you read it and like, that's why the name is this. Yeah, it's like that.
Do you want to say anything to your mom, dad? Okay, I can even see that. Okay, I'm going to ask her if she wants to say thank you, this, that, and the other. People say that. Oh, thank you, mom. Thank you, dad. So, is there anybody she wants to talk to? Now is your time.
My biggest support has been my family, my extended family, all of them. Like, they've always pushed me to write. Okay. And even small
things. Have there ever been
things,
another writer in your family?
No, but my dad writes poems. Okay. He's pretty good at writing.
Okay.
Yeah. So, even though they're not avid readers, all my family members, they still took out time to read it. I really appreciate that. Even the smallest articles, whatever it has been, they've always read it. Okay. They've given me their honest opinions.
That's good.
That's important.
How about your school?
Honest opinion is important.
How about your school?
Yeah, my school, St. Michael's Academy, obviously it has played a big role. The teachers, they don't directly, always push you in the right direction, but whatever they say and however they help you, it always stays with you. Everything they say, it always stays with you.
Was there anybody who was really who's helped you to remember from the school teachers, or they were all just equally supportive?
They were all equally supportive, but I had this, long back, I had this one teacher who I can say has built my base.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's her name?
What's her name? Meena ma'am. Yeah.
Okay. So her surname is ma'am.
I've always called her Meena ma'am.
I know many people go through life without ever realizing their teachers have a second name.
I don't know his surname.
No problem. She'll understand it.
Yeah.
It'll be good. So thanks for coming and giving us insight into all this.
Thank you.
I hope you go out there and sell 100,000 more copies of this book and make your family proud.
Thank you.